Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends Toysrus exclusive Avengers 3-pack review. Let's do it.
Ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about.
Looking at the figures outside of the package, I must say that I'm pretty pleased with the look of each one of these figures. They all look pretty clean, not too many paint imperfections. It's a sort of a random pack, but I kind of see what Hasbro is doing. Again, they're continuing to get us closer to completing some teams. This version of Vision is Vision with the all-new Avengers team. I believe this is after the events of Secret War and all the incursions and everything. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the look that he's sporting with that team. Let me show a picture of that team real quick. Looks like they're gonna really get us close to completing that team. We're gonna get that Miles Morales Spider-Man. I predicted that we're gonna get Nova, the Kid Nova, probably on that same buck as Spider-Man, and a few more. We got Sam Wilson Cap obviously in this pack, and then a couple more characters, and we'll have that all new Avengers, that young team. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way this guy turned out. You get the one accessory, if you want to call it an accessory, which is the cape. This cape is a little different from some of the ones we've got in the past. The way it sits, it plugs in the same way. This little peg was a little warped when I first got it, but no big deal. Bucky cap mold here. Head is on a ball joint, gets a really nice range of motion. It can pop off with no problem. Ball jointed shoulder, gonna go up just about that far. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and a hinge. Waist is gonna turn. Ab crunch is gonna go down just about that much. Not gonna go back too far. T-joint at the hips. Legs gonna go up just that far, out that far. Not gonna go back too far. And you'll get an upper thigh swivel. The joints on this is really tight. Double jointed knee. You get a swivel at the shin or the calf. You get a hinge, and you get an ankle pivot. And like I said, the paint and everything looks good. You got the dark green, lime green, little yellow and red. And I do like this design. I think I like this one more than the last Vision that they put out, which was on the same exact mold, just different paint and a different cape. But I do think Vision looks pretty cool. Next up, we're looking at Sam Wilson Captain America. And I will say that when I first saw the design of this costume in the comic books, I hated it. I still don't like it too much, but seeing it and in some of the books and having it here in hand and looking at it, it's not the worst ever, but I really hated the design. Unfortunately, you're only going to get the one accessory, which is the shield, and I've been saying this for the longest. I think the shields that they've been putting out are small. They definitely are small in comparison to some of the original shields that we got, like with Face Off Captain America, and I guess maybe the first Captain America from the first wave of Marvel Legends. I wish they would make the shields bigger. I wish they would kind of reinforce this peg here. I feel like that breaks really easily, and I wish these rivets in the inside was painted a little better and a little more detailed. Maybe I'm a little spoiled from the figure arts versions of the shield, but shield is very lackluster in my opinion. But like I said, wasn't a big fan of this costume to begin with, but I will say that this looks clean. It looks good. It looks sleek. I do like the way this came out here. It looks really good. This is the same buck as the Captain America that we got in the Mandroid Build-A-Figure wave. For the most part, the buck is the same. You get a ball joint on the head. You get a decent range of motion. That head's gonna come off if you wanted to. Shoulder's gonna go up just about that far. That was one of the issues with this buck, in my opinion, was that the shoulder couldn't go up too far. Obviously, you'll be able to get it to do a full 360. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. You get a swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge. Waist is gonna turn. Ab crunch is gonna go that far forward, and it's gonna go back definitely more than Vision. T joint at the hip. Hindered just a little bit by the pouches here. You do get rotation at the thigh. You get a double jointed knee. You get a swivel at the shin or the calf. The hinge on the foot is going to go down or back, but it's not going to go up at all. That was one thing that I really didn't like about this mold. You do still get an ankle pivot, but it'd been nice if they put some more detail on the boots as far as the laces and everything go. I feel like the uniform could have used just a little more detailing, but everything is pretty clean though. All the line work and everything looks good. Peg hole in the back. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with the wings either. If I'm not mistaken, I think the 3 3/4 inch version had wings, or some other version had wings. Really unfortunate that they didn't add that. You would think that in a box set they would add some additional accessories and stuff like that, and give you some bonuses. This is really a slim set, but again, I do like the way that this figure came out. And last but certainly not least, we're looking at Kate Bishop Hawkeye, who originally appeared in 2005 with the Young Avengers. She was sporting a different costume at that time, a costume that I didn't really like too much, but I do like this one. I do like the way this figure came out. I do have a few gripes, but I like this figure. I like the look of this figure. She kind of looks like my girlfriend actually. But accessories, you get this quiver here, which is reminiscent of pretty much every damn quiver we've gotten from Hasbro Marvel Legends, where the arrows don't come out. Now you do get a little hole here where you could stick, I guess, the end of an arrow in there, because it doesn't actually go down the length of the quiver here, unfortunately. But this peg's on the side there. I'll get that on in a second. And then you also get her bow, obviously. And this one looks pretty good. It looks better than some of the ones that we've got with Clint Barton Hawkeye, you know, because it's got some extra detailing on it. But it's still kind of, it's not a string here. This is still just like a hard but soft plastic. But the bow does look pretty good. I believe this costume is the costume that she was sporting when she had like a little mini series with Hawkeye, with Clint Barton Hawkeye, and I would have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is with this costume. But let's take a look at the articulation. Looking at the articulation, the head will come off. You can see that, you know, the articulation is there on the neck. It's kind of hard to get this head off and on. You might want to be careful that you don't damage the peg, but you can get it off. And you know, if you wanted to swap this and put it on some different bodies and try some different things, I suppose you could. The way the hair is, it is sort of a soft plastic, so you do get the full range of motion forward. Now in the back, it's going to be hindered. You know, we get that a lot with the female figures. It can turn left and right, but the hair may look a little odd depending on what you do. But I'm glad that you can actually still move the head forward and left and right. If it could go back, that would be great too, but not really. You get a ball joint at the shoulder. It's only going to go up about that far, but it will do a full 360. Now this is where we get into the BS that pisses me off about Marvel Legends. You only get a single jointed elbow, and the fact that you're only going to get a single jointed elbow for a character that's going to be using a bow and arrow and stuff like that is just a pain in the ass. You do get a swivel at the wrist, and you get a hinge. There is no waist articulation, but the upper torso can turn, and it can move forward just about that far, and it can move back pretty far as well. Would have been nice if they still added rotation at the waist. You get a T-joint at the hip. Leg is going to go up just about that far. There is an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee. You don't get rotation at the boot here, but you do get a decent hinge, and you do get a pivot. The pivot is kind of tight, but it's there. You know, the articulation is there. Same thing on both sides as far as the arm, except on this side you get a open hand that kind of look like she just I guess released the bow or is about to pull the bow back or what have you. This here is a separate piece, the belt, and right here is actually where the quiver plugs in. It'll plug in with no problem. Of course, it's going to be a problem when I try to do it on camera. There you go, and that goes on there just like that, and she can hold the bow. So definitely a lot to explore with Kate Bishop Hawkeye. Like I said, I really do like the way this figure came out. Minor gripes, you know, they could have definitely did more like they always can with the female bucks, but I'm definitely interested in doing some serious A.C.B.A. with Kate Bishop and Clint Barton and exploring some things. And I know that Deadpool showed up in that book, and Maria Hill, and it's just a lot to explore with all the things Hasbro is doing and all the characters that they're giving us. So this one is one I really do like. So I would definitely recommend the set. I'm assuming that it's going to be about $50 when it officially hits retail. It's not officially out yet. You know, I got this a little early from a connect that I get things from time to time. But what we actually doing right now is we offering the opportunity for you, the viewer, to win one of these sets right now. We doing a couple of things for the month of May for lupus. As some of you know, my mom has lupus, and I've learned over the past couple of years that quite a few people in the community have mothers or relatives who are afflicted with the disease. So in the month of May, we always try to do something to raise awareness and to donate to the Lupus Foundation, and this year is no different. So we actually offering a Purple Man head cast in purple, like the comic version, right now, that you can actually purchase, and those funds will go to lupus. And then we're also going to be raffling off one of these 3-packs that I reviewed here in this video. I believe it'll be about $5 for you to get in on a raffle, so you could possibly win this set for $5. And if you don't, then you're still donating to a good cause. So check the underbar of this video for the details of both of those things I mentioned. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.